Welcome back to another NihongoGamer video. I'm excited to show you the Hori 3D Surround Gaming Headset, which was sent to me directly by Hori for the purposes of making this video. It's a pair of speakers. Instead of wearing a pair of headphones, you wear a pair of speakers on your neck, like this. And I've got it plugged into my PlayStation right now. I don't have any game audio, but if I talk like this, you can hear the speakers are coming out like so. Now that's just an audio test. Normally when you're playing in a video game, you won't actually hear your voice go into the mic and come back out. But essentially, I'm going to make this as simple as physically possible. This is a $100 pair of headphones that you don't wear on your head, you wear them on your neck. Really, the only reason I can imagine you'd want to not wear a pair of headphones is if you've got fancy hair, or if you want to just avoid your ears getting hot. Maybe you're the type of person where you just sweat a lot, and having headphones on, no matter what pair of headphones you buy, it just always ends up getting really hot and sweaty on your ears. Hori is a company that has a whole wide range of products, some from like the tournament grade arcade stick, you could use this to win Evo if you wanted, and at the same time they've also got Nintendo Switch controllers that just look a bit like Joy-Cons but have fewer features on them and are cheaper. So that's the kind of company Hori is. It's a mixed bag between like the super high quality stuff that looks just like the equipment that you get in actual arcades, and then the other side, which is, a cheaper alternative to buying the Nintendo official controllers. And this one fits somewhere in the middle. At $100, it's trying to be a slightly premium thing, but as a new product category, I'm kind of wondering, is this actually something people were asking for, or did they just look at this product form factor and go, okay, we can make this something that gamers will want? And after trying it out for months now, I'm still completely confused as to who needs to buy this, because the whole point of a pair of headphones is that when you're wearing them, whoever's sitting next to you or whoever else is in the room, or if you just want no one to know that you're listening to music and playing video games when you should be asleep or doing your homework, that's the benefit of having a pair of headphones. Also, the sound doesn't come back out into the headphones and into the microphone, so you can monitor the sound of your voice. Right now, I'm speaking into this microphone, but I have no idea if it's too loud or too quiet or anything, because I'm not monitoring it on these speakers here. And if you're going to be using speakers, why don't you just use the speakers built into your computer or built into your PC monitor or your TV? And the answer to that, I can only imagine, is I'd quite like to have the speakers close to my head. But if I want the speakers close to my head, they ought to sound good, right? Well, for $100, I don't really know how much tech they can build into this. Apparently, the money did not stretch to actually nice sounding speakers. So I've got a video game here. It's Multi-Blood. Let's just listen to the jukebox mode so you can hear kind of what the music sounds like. Seems all right. There's also a second mode, which is, I believe, FPS mode, which one of them is like a bass boost mode, and one's an FPS mode for more accuracy when you're hearing bullets flying past you. Sorry, this is the bass boost mode. So I've got music kind of near my head. Do I feel like I'm surrounded by the music, though? This is where it starts to get a little bit confusing. They have written 3 very important buzzwords that make you quite excited about audio, right? 3D, which is nice because surround sound means I'll know where sounds are coming from. Like surround means the same thing. Gaming, specifically people who have gamer needs, like ability to isolate sound from my microphone while streaming, that sort of thing. But mostly to just sound good and give me an idea of where my opponents are in the game. So essentially, all 3 words mean the same thing. But in my opinion, none of these words have actually translated to the product. It's not really 3D. It's not really gaming. It's just a neck set that surrounds you. Now, supposedly, it has a bunch of technology in it that makes it emulate surround sound so that you'll know where sounds are coming from in front of you or behind you. But essentially, it's very difficult to create that psychoacoustic effect of sounds coming from in front of you or behind you if you're using speakers sitting near your ears. And here's the main reason. You've got these flappy bits on your ears, right? And that means that sounds coming from behind you have to go around the flappy bits of your ears. They also have to go around parts of your head. And all these effects mixed together help you calculate surround sound, like virtual surround sound, from only 2 speakers. But that's when the speakers are covering your ears. When they're just speakers sitting below your ears, and honestly, a little bit behind your ears, it kind of feels like they're right below or a little bit behind. Instead of getting surround sound, I just have low and behind sound for everything. It's like sounds that are supposed to be in front of me sound like they're kind of behind me. Sounds that are behind me sound like they're kind of behind me. And all of the time, the sounds are really bassy or they're kind of tinny. That being said, even though it doesn't do its functions particularly well, it does do its functions. It's sound that isn't on your ears and it sort of surrounds you, but it's not surround sound. Oh, and it's got a microphone. But the final question for me, would you use one of these if you actually had one, comes down to the fact that probably this is going to be bought as a gift. It's Christmas time, my son already has a PlayStation, or my daughter's already got an Xbox. I'm going to buy them something for it, but I don't know what games they like. How about a cool accessory, which is novel, I've never seen anything like it, and it looks like it's aimed directly at gamers, and it gives you a surround sound experience. Here's the thing. I think if you buy this for someone who is a gamer, they probably won't use it. It's supposed to be quite light, so you don't notice that it's on your neck, but you absolutely notice that it's on your neck. The second thing is, it's not actually neck-shaped. It's got some rubberized grips here, and then it's hard plastic here again, but this part doesn't really touch your neck. This part that does touch your neck, why is this flat? Shouldn't this be round? The whole thing should be nice and soft, but it's not. It's kind of hard plastic. Now, it does have a battery in it, and you can charge it, and it does last a reasonably long amount of time. But why would I use headphones that require a battery when I could just use headphones that don't require a battery? Because this is a speaker, it needs more power to send sound out louder, and it's also got echo cancellation and this microphone, and all of that means it needs to run on a battery. So you're charging up this device so that you can use it, and when you finally do want to use it, you have to plug it in with a cable. If I've got a cable plugged into a device with electricity coming out of it, why do I need to charge it? A couple more things I just want to show you up close. This is the volume switch. You just flick it to the side, flick it to the other side to turn the volume up and down. But as you can see, it's the type of switch that you can push in. And pushing it in doesn't actually do anything. So I feel like this is not actually the correct type of switch for this function. I'm sure there are other switches that can roll the volume up and down. Now on the other side, you have 3 buttons. One of them is nice and big. You can see here there is a mute button. Press this and it's muted or unmuted, and you can see from this little light here. But is there anything you've noticed that's interesting about this light? I'm now wearing the headset. Is my mic muted? I can't tell. Essentially, this is the most visible part of the device while you're wearing it, but it's still not visible. I can't see it. Can't see it from here. The last thing I want to mention is the power switch. As you can see, there are 2 buttons here on the side. One of them has a green light. The green light is the power button, but you can't see that light when you're wearing it. And also, as you can see, both of these buttons are the same shape, and neither of them have a little nub on them, so they don't actually feel different to touch. So when you're wearing them and you're trying to change the mode, you're kind of like, I want to go from FPS to bass boost mode. You'll click the button and you'll be like, there's no way to know while you're wearing it which button is which, except if you're familiar with the beeps. I think one of the beeps means FPS mode, and the other one means bass boost mode, but I can never remember which one's which. Listen, that's all I've got to say about the Hori 3D Surround Gaming Neckset. It's a product category that I'm not convinced really exists yet. If it does exist, it's mostly for people who are gardening. I've definitely seen a product exactly like this in one of those catalogs that you get for free that comes around to your house. And you're like, cool stuff like that prevents your knees from hurting when you're doing the gardening, or so you can listen to your Roberts radio while you're doing the gardening. Basically, I feel like this product comes from a device that already exists, which is sold to old age pensioners who like to do gardening outside. And it doesn't actually have much use for gamers. it's clearly not actually 3D audio, and the audio that you hear, it's not actually surround sound, it just surrounds you, as in, it's like around you. You know, they make headsets, they make controllers. Often they make controllers with better D-pads than the ones that actually ship on official controllers. Hori is definitely a company that is all over the place, and I mean that in a good way. But at the same time, they also make a lot of products that are kind of like, who is this for? And is it actually good at what it's trying to do? It's definitely the sort of thing that I think people will try and buy as gifts for their kids because they don't really know what else to buy them for their Xbox or for their PlayStation. There is also a PlayStation version which has white and black styling, a bit like a PlayStation 5 controller. If you want to see more videos like this, where I review various gaming products, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Come and hang out on the NihongoGamer Discord, watch me stream on Twitch, and you can follow me on Twitter. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next NihongoGamer video.